Welcome back to Teshkid FX for another price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you a price prediction update on Polygon Matic, whose current price stands at the $0.9119 mark, and here on TradingView the market is up by 0.92%. and in this video I want to give you the key scenarios that I expect to play out, basing my analysis on the Elliot waves and the Fibonacci's, and also the key areas of support and resistances, and also draw out any key chart pattern that you have information on this chart. And I'll kickstart the video by giving a brief of what has been happening on this chart. Polygon Matic from the all-time high has been seeing no prices in this massive ABC corrective movement, which has now taken us back to around the $0.32 mark, and having done so I believe it has done the minimum that we expected it to do in its ABC corrective movement, and very soon we are going to see a very nice bounce to the upper side, obeying this Elliot wave structure, having a wave 5 taking us back to an all-time high. But before we get to an all-time high, we first need to see that first wave to the upper side information, and I believe that is what has been playing out here on the Polygon Matic chart. And if I jump to the 4-hour chart for further analysis, here on the 4-hour chart you can see I have this Elliot wave structure in yellow, which is a fractal wave within that first wave to the upper side, because I expect to see fractal waves in formation within that first wave to the upper side, where I believe we're in the formation of a wave 5 to the upper side, and once we see the completion of that 5th wave to the upper side, that will be completing that higher Elliot wave count 1. And if I get a little bit into the details of this Elliot wave structure right here, so that it can give us the key scenarios that we expect to play out, after making our low down there, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, making the high for the first wave, then saw a very nice retracement to the upper side in the formation of a wave 2. After making the low for the second wave, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, seeing the high for the wave 3, and the high for that wave 3 was at around the $1.06 mark. And after making that high, we have been seeing a bit of a retracement over here in the formation of a wave 4, and because a fourth wave is a retracement of the third wave, we can use the Fibonacci's, connecting them from the low of the wave 3 to the high of that wave 3 to give us a minimum retracement area between the Fib level 0.382 and the Fib level 0.618, and I can mark that target area here on the charts like that. And you can see Polygon Matic has continued to respect that movement into this target area, which perfectly lies between the $0.81 mark and the $0.766 mark. And in that movement to the lower side in the formation of a fourth wave, we made our low for that fourth wave at around the $0.69 mark, which is within this target area that I have drawn out over here. And because the fourth wave is a corrective wave, I also expected to see a corrective movement play out over here, and that is an ABC corrective movement, and I believe we have this as the wave A. Then we've been making our high at around the $0.94 mark, then we continued pushing lower in the formation of our wave C, making our low at around the $0.69 mark and completing the formation of that fourth wave. Then after that we have been seeing a very nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of our wave 5, and because a fifth wave is an impulsive wave, we also expect to see fractal waves in formation within that fifth wave to the upper side. And before I get to the key scenarios that I expect to play out, basing it on the Elliot wave structures, let me show you the key chart patterns that we have information over here, and the key scenarios that could play out, basing it on the key chart patterns that we have information. In the formation of that fourth wave, you can see we had been trading within this channel right here, and this channel I have highlighted here in yellow, and you can see at some point we managed to break out of the channel to the upper side, and as we tried to have a retest, the retest was not a success, and we got back into the channel once more. And lucky for us, we have support at around the $0.78 mark, which also lies within that channel. It gave us support, and we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side in this movement right here. And after breaking out of the channel once more, we even saw a retest here on the 4-hour chart of that upper side of the channel. And after the retest was a success, we saw a very nice breakout to the upper side, taking us back to around the $0.95 mark, which is a key area of resistance. And we tried to push above that key area of resistance, making our high at around the $0.96 mark. And after losing the volume to continue pushing high above that key area of resistance, you can see now we are seeing a bit of a pullback right here. And we also have another chart pattern, which is also a channel over here, having this as the lower side of that channel like that, then the upper side, and you can see that we have also managed to break out of this ascending channel that I have drawn out over here in this movement right here. And after the retest and after the breakout, we also saw a retest of the upper side of the channel, and that movement helped us to continue pushing higher to that key area of resistance. And now we found resistance, and now we are seeing a pullback to the lower side. And basing on this channel that I have drawn right here in this movement over here, maybe this is still a retest of this upper side of the channel, so there's a possibility that we might touch the upper side of the channel once more, and once that happens, we can bounce back to the upper side, manage to break above the key area of resistance at around the $0.95 mark, and maybe make a new high over here. So let's be patient and see how that plays out. And getting to the key scenarios that can play out basing it on the Elliot wave structures, since our wave 5 to the upper side is an impulsive wave, we also expect to see fractal waves in formation within that 5th wave to the upper side, and I believe we are seeing such a structure right here after making that low for that 4th wave, having this as the wave 1 to the upper side, then a wave 2. Then this impulsive movement to the upper side is what is forming a wave 3, then I expect a wave 4, and then continue pushing higher in the formation of a wave 5 to complete a higher Elliot wave count 1, which is a fractal wave within that 5th wave to the upper side. And getting a little bit into the details of the formation of this Elliot wave structure that I have drawn right here, after forming our high for that first wave, we saw a very nice retracement to the lower side in the formation of a wave 2, and you can use the Fibonacci's to get to see whether this wave 2 has retraced into the minimum target areas by connecting the fibs from the low of the wave 1 to the high of that wave 1, and our wave 2 should retrace between the fib level 0.382 and the fib level 0.618, and you can see we managed to break out of that target area and retraced back to the fib level $0.78 mark, which perfectly lies at the $0.7291 mark, which is a key area of support. Give us support, and we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of a wave 3. And using the trend based Fibonacci, I can also sketch out a target area to the upper side in the formation of a wave 3, connecting the trend based fib from the low of the wave 1 to the high of that wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of the wave 2, and that gives me a minimum target area to the upper side at the fib level 1.618, and that perfectly lies at around the $0.9943 mark. And you can see in this movement right here, we made our high at around the $0.9688 mark, meaning we have a 0.3 difference from the target area that I have in the formation of a wave 3, and that means there are high chances that the high for this wave 3 is in at around the $0.9695 mark. And if that is the case, then whatever we are seeing right here is a pullback to the lower side in the formation of a wave 4 before we continue pushing higher in the formation of a wave 5 to complete that higher Elliot wave count 1. And assuming the high is in at around the $0.96 mark, we can sketch out a minimum target area to the lower side in the formation of a wave 4 right here, which is the movement we might be in over here. And we can use the Fibonacci's, connecting them from the low of the wave 2 to the high of that wave 3, and that gives me a minimum target area between the fib level 0.382 and the fib level 0.5, and I can mark that target area here on the charts like that. And you can see that my target area lies between the $0.87 mark and the $0.84 mark, so there's high chances that Polygon Matic might give us a bit of a pullback over here in the formation of a 4th wave, get us into this target area right here, and once that plays out, then we can expect a very nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of a wave 5 to complete the higher Elliot wave count 1. So for me, what I'm expecting here on the Polygon Matic is a bit of a pullback to get us into the area between the $0.87 mark and the $0.84 mark in the formation of a wave 4, and then continue pushing higher in the formation of a wave 5, and also sketching out a target area for that higher Elliot wave count 1 so that we can know whether that 5th wave to the upper side is taking us. We can use the trend based Fibonacci, connecting it from the low of the wave 1 to the high of that wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the high of the wave 3, and that gives me a minimum target area to the upper side at the fib level 0.618, and that is at around the $1.2 $2474 mark. So that is the minimum that I would expect that first wave to the upper side to do. And also taking a look at the indicators to see what movements will be supported here on the RSI. Here on the RSI we are trading at around the 52 mark, meaning we can support any movement to the either to the upper side or maybe to the lower side. Any movements will be supported, and our movement to the lower side in that pullback in the formation of our wave 4 will still be supported. And on the MACD, here on the MACD we have printed a bearish cross, and that means lower prices are coming our way in the formation of that fourth wave that I have drawn out on the charts, basing it on the Elliot wave structures. And that's the update for Polygon Matic.